What's going on, guys? How you doing? In this video, we are doing an interview with Rush from 1990, which is almost basically right where we're at. We're a little bit before that. Presto is 89, but I thought I'd throw this in there. It looks like it was filmed and recorded on a potato, so sorry about the quality of the video. It's potato quality, but hopefully what they say and how it goes is worth it. Right? So yeah, let's check this out. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos, reaction videos, bass videos, music videos, all kinds of videos. Check it out. If you like the channel, if you want to support the channel, all kinds of ways, you can hit super thanks underneath this video. You can hit me direct in the description. I got PayPal, Venmo, Amazon wishlist, mailing address. Thank you, guys. All right, let's get into this. Let's do this. Bam. Yeah, this is a potato. What is he playing there? I love that song.
I love songwriting. I never really get tired of. There's a process of getting together with Alex and Neil that I find immensely rewarding, and that's going in that room with nothing and coming out with a song. And the first time you play it back on an 8-track or on a 2-track, and you listen back to the ideas and see the melodies coming and honing the melodies and working on the inside of the song, and the whole craft that comes out of the art, to me it's great. I don't ever really get tired of it. It's always a challenge. It's always a little scary. You never know if anything's going to come out, and you just keep your fingers crossed that it's going to work. And as you get into a role of writing an album, you start to have more confidence that, yeah, it will work. And then the songs come out better and better and better. And I love that. That's a really great thing. Everything else associated with it, you kind of take with a grain of salt. But I don't think anyone has a job that's fun all the time, and that's kind of the way I look at mine. People often ask me that, don't you want to do something else? And, you think about doing all kinds of other things, but it's kind of what you do, and it's hard just to leave it alone, especially when you don't ever feel like you've done the perfect thing. You don't ever feel like you've written the best song you can write. You always kind of scratch your head and go, well, I think there's another one in there that might be better than that. Maybe we're getting closer to it all the time.
With each one, I think, anyways, that we're getting better and better at our songwriting and our arranging, at all the things that we're supposed to be doing well. So hopefully, over the next few years, we will continue to advance and progress.
Reading has a funny relation. I think one of the most important aspects for anyone is probably escape. And I grew up in a very suburban environment, very conformist, and consequently seemed very bland to me and very difficult to break out of. And reading was the exit, definitely, for me, the escape. And started very young with mystery stories, the romance of all that. Even Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy books and Agatha Christie. I read every Agatha Christie mystery, I think, ever. Dos Passos was very fertile because he was such an imagery-laden writer. So he always sparked my interest in my imagination off in different ways. So a song like The Big Money or a song like Grand Designs, the titles relate to him, but the songs don't. Just the imagery caught my imagination. His way of looking at something caught my imagination. So that became my starting off point. Other writers, specifically, sometimes a song like Losing It was written about a writer. I was thinking of the tragedy of Ernest Hemingway when he got toward the end of his life, and he just simply couldn't write anymore. And it had been his life, and he'd be standing there he was invited, I remember, to the President Kennedy's inauguration, and there was a story that he stood there for 2 hours trying to write an answer to this invitation, and couldn't compose an answer to the invitation, and was weeping, with the frustration of it all. So I got into the tragedy of that, and thinking about him as an individual, but then taking it as a symbol and thinking of any artist or any person who does something they really love to do. Again, I don't think that's important. The important thing is that they are affected by the music, and if they like it, that's fine. Need never pay any attention to the lyrics except it sounds. And I have to think of that too. When I'm writing lyrics, there are sounds that have to be sung, and I think of them just in a purely euphonious way. It just has to be a nice sounding series of syllables. And then if I can get an interrelation of rhythm in there that satisfies me as a craftsman, and then if I can get some other symbolism in there that might be even just personal, that will just make me happier with it. So nothing's lost, you know, nobody suffers. But when somebody takes that vagueness and all that big collection of images and possible interpretations and takes it in such a diametrically opposed way to anything I'd ever even thought of, let alone intended, it's a little scary, but you have to say, well, that's good. You know, they were able to take what they wanted out of it.
Making a record for me takes far too long than it should, but it just, you learn to live with it because it's the thing that, you know, you do, and it's part of what I've grown up with. But when you get into you know, film and animation and all that stuff takes even longer. So I find I have less patience with that kind of process, but I enjoy the collaboration with animators and creative people in the visual arts, and even the directors when we do videos. Thinking the things up is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Putting them all together and having to deal with the realities of budgets and, you know, and the unrealized visions, I think, are very frustrating.
Okay, so there you go. This is a pretty short clip. Now, hang on a second. I gotta rewind this back because I gotta hear. There was some like jump clips, and they split where what Neil was talking about, and you know, I want to hear him. So I'm gonna just go back myself and catch this because I thought I heard him say something that I'm gonna bring up. Just give me a second. Yeah, need not. What did he say? He said exactly what he said.
The important thing is that they are affected by the music, and if they like it, that's fine. Need never pay any attention to the lyrics except the sounds.
The important thing is that they're affected by the music, and if they like it, that's fine. Need never to pay attention to any of the lyrics except the sounds. The guy who's writing the lyrics just said that. Okay? Right? And I listen, I get a ton of comments about you need to be paying attention. Hello, lyrics, like you're only getting half the music. The guy who literally writes the lyrics for the band is saying what I'm saying, right? Not everybody pays attention to the lyrics. Okay, a very famous example that I know of, Earth, Wind & Fire did the song Reasons, right? And they always use that example of like, man, all these people come up to me and say, you know, that was our wedding song, and he's just like, do you know what the lyrics are? Like, you chose that song as your wedding song? Okay, maybe if you read the lyric, you know, people don't listen to music like that. Not everybody. There are definitely artists, bands, and also people where it's like super lyric central. But this music is, you don't need it. It's extra. It makes the connection that much stronger. You know, like when I want to dig into lyrics is after I already really like the music. The music has just caught me because I like music, right? I don't like words and wordplay and like lyrics and all that stuff. That is cool. It is. But that's not what got me into this. Music is what got me into this, right? Not like lyricism or poetry or words or books. None of it. None of that got me into it. Music got me into it. So music is first for me. It always is, always will be. It's what it is. But then once I love the music, I'm going to check out the lyrics because I'm going to be singing it in my head constantly. I'm going to be singing along with it. I'm going to learn the words that way. And if I don't know something, like some of the lyrics or whatever, I'm going to want to check them out, like, which I do, you know? So anyways, I thought that was super interesting because we've had this conversation how many times, and here I just found a clip randomly where the literal lyricist is like, that's not the important, you know, like, I'd like you to like the music. Like the lyrics, you know, need not whatever his exact wording is. I'm not as, you know, this guy has read all the books, you know, and I have not. So I'm never going to speak as eloquently or as professorial as him. I'm going to, you know, speak like a, you know, whatever. Anyways, I thought that was cool. I wish that does anybody have like the full clip? Because they like jumped into him talking about that, like that sentence. I wish I could hear the whole context of it, because that would, be interesting and just give more information, of really what he's talking about. I'll try and find it if I can. Hopefully I'll look. But I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. And yeah, it's interesting that they are still working on their craft and searching for like their best song, and they don't think that they've like written their best song. I mean, I suppose that's a good thing, because if they thought they made their best song and it's all just behind them, then why continue? Right? Why continue? Why keep doing what you're doing? So I guess that's cool. I just think it's interesting. That's all. Like that's pretty interesting. They're just honing their craft. It's a cool clip. Dig it. Sorry, I was recording on a potato and it's like a little jumpy. It's like some VHS thing or something kind of gnarly. But at least we have, this is one of the great things about YouTube. It's like, it's here, it's like this like massive archive kind of, right? Anyways, very cool stuff. Very cool. I can listen to Neil talk forever, right? Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.